body? Are you limber? Okay. Alright. So, Helen, how have things been since I last saw you?
They've been okay, I guess.
You guess?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they've been a little better.
How so?
I went back to church this week,
Okay.
so that's something I haven't done in a long time.
How'd that feel?
A little bit good, a little bit uncomfortable.
A little good, little uncomfortable.
I mean, I just saw a lot of people, and
Okay.
I didn't really, just because I went didn't mean I was, like, ready to, like, talk to them, and, like, so it was a little bit awkward. I had to talk to some people, but
So it's just awkward being around, like, faces you haven't seen in a long time. Okay.
I feel like people are, like, wondering about me and stuff, like, judging me, but not judging me, but, like, I don't know. I guess judging me. I don't know.
I'm assuming you went with your husband?
Yeah, I went
Family?
with my family.
Okay.
Yeah, I talked to my husband about it before I decided. So that was an interesting conversation, I guess. It was
Okay.
like one of the more intimate conversations we've had in a while. I feel like he was a little bit, I feel like he was, like, happy that I was trying, but, like, he's still really, we're still really distant.
Why do you say there was distance? How did the conversation go?
Well, like, I don't know, like, he was, like, I could tell he was excited that I was doing that, but, like, I don't know. It's just, like, how things feel different after you've been with someone for so long, you know how things are, and it's, I feel like maybe he doesn't, he's, like, not sure if he can trust me that I'm really trying to get better, which obviously I am. I'm here, but, yeah, I don't think he really buys it yet, which is, disappointing, I guess.
So you don't think he buys it. So how did he respond when you said you did want to go back to church?
Well, that was, like, good, and I was like, you know, he asked me about therapy, and if I thought it was, like, helping me and stuff, and, then he kind of said, you know, like, he kind of made a comment, like, are you gonna stick with it this time, or something, like, I don't know.
Okay.
Or, like, hopefully you stick with it or something, I don't remember. I just remember feeling, like, sad about it, because I was just, obviously I'm excited to, like, I mean, I made some changes this week and have kind of forced myself to get out of bed and do things, and for him to, like, not see that makes me sad. But I know I've made a lot of mistakes and messed up a lot, so I know it's not going to be fixed overnight.
So it just wasn't really the reaction you wanted to get out of him when you told him that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, partially it was, but partially it wasn't.
Okay. But I mean, that's great that you got out of bed. Like, I want you to feel excited about that, because just taking that step to get out, be in the world, go to church, see people you haven't seen in a while, that's huge. Especially considering where you were to where you are. That's a giant step. So don't feel discouraged just because your husband wasn't crazy enthusiastic, you know?
Yeah. It was just, it's hard. I mean, I feel exhausted still. But, like, I'm trying for them. Him and my kids. Now I have to start fixing, I guess, other relationships too.
Other relationships, like what?
Like his mom.
Okay.
His parents.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that was a big part of the situation, was your disconnect with his family.
Yeah.
Were they at church too?
Yep, they were there. I said hi
Mhm.
But, you know, it's not even just me anymore. Like, I feel like they're really upset with me and disappointed. So, like, it's awkward both ways. Like, I don't think they wanted to talk to me that much either.
Okay.
My mom was there, my stepdad, and I briefly talked to her. You know, I'm not that close with my parents.
Yeah.
It's when I'm going through stuff like this, I don't want her bothering me with questions about it and stuff. And she definitely tries to.
What about like the overall experience? Like, how did you feel just being out and about?
That was kind of, I had anxiety about being around so many people.
Okay.
But the service, I mean, I love going to church.
Mhm.
Like, it made me feel good listening to that, participating in that. But seeing all those people was not ideal. But I tried.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah. I don't know. But
So is religion? I'm guessing it plays a fairly large part in your life then.
yeah. We're a huge church-going family.
Mhm.
Even when I stopped going, my family kept going every week.
Okay.
Like my kids and everything. They went with, you know, their grandparents and everything.
So before things started to fall apart, was church a big thing back then too?
Yeah, it's always been.
Okay.
I mean, I've went to church since I was little, but with my marriage and like my husband's really religious too, so like it's been a big thing for our family. Like,
Okay.
so for at least like 13 years, I've been going, you know,
Mhm.
every Sunday, almost every Sunday. Not everybody misses sometimes, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, outside of church, going to church, how else have things been?
I mean, hard, but I've made myself like get up and do things, you know, like, cause I'm still waking up and like not sleeping in,
Mhm.
like waking up at like 5,
Mhm.
but I've made myself like get up and make everybody lunches and like, breakfast and stuff.
And that's different. You weren't.
Well, not every day, but I have some.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a change. I remember you saying in our last session that you weren't really involving yourself with the like preparing the kids' lunches and stuff and being out and about with them before they went to school.
I feel like I felt that I needed to challenge myself to do those things after talking. Like, hearing yourself talk about these things, like, really makes
Mhm.
it different. Makes you kind of realize where you're, like, the problem. Not, I don't know.
No,
If
I
that
understand.
sounds right,
Yeah.
but-
No, I get what you're saying. But I like that you use that word challenge yourself because that's something that I wanted to bring into today's session is to ask you what exactly you want to see. Because now that we kind of know each other a little bit better, I'm curious, what are you trying to get out of our relationship?
I mean, I want to be able to get back to, like, my old ways. Like, you know, being, like, the mom that takes care of things. I want to fix my relationships. So I guess working on communication.
Mm-hmm.
Working on how to deal with, like, the way that I've been feeling. Just so down and tired and sad and, like, lonely. I need to learn how to, like, deal with when things get bad like this. I've never really been great at it, but
Okay. So, working on coping with difficult times, communicating with your family and your husband's family, and just getting back into a routine and feeling some normalcy.
yeah,
Sound right?
yeah.
Okay. So, what do you what do you think it will look like in your life when we get to that point of you're out of counseling, you're moving forward, and you're taking those steps? What do those steps look like? What does your life look like?
Well, it's like getting up and, you know, talking with my family over breakfast and not just making it for them, you know. It's like very involved. I'm really a big social person. I've always been a social person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just good relationships, active, you know, because I work out.
Right.
I did. And like just productive and like happy, like me and my husband are best friends.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my kids had a great relationship, you know. Even me and my in-laws had a great relationship before this started. A better one with my mom and sisters.
Okay.
I really don't talk to my dad, so that's not something that but yeah, just like my energy, my fun, doing things, but having things done, like I don't know, yeah, having energy and like being happy
Okay.
in my relationships.
So, being social, being involved, improved communication, and just generally just more upbeat, energetic, happier, more social.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in the past, you said that you used to always be that way.
Yeah.
So this isn't a new thing for you.
Except when I was seeing a therapist before.
Okay.
When I was younger. But,
right.
And like every now and then I go through like little things like this, but for the most part, yeah, always been like that.
Okay.
It's been like who I am forever.
Okay. So it's getting back to who you were, not a completely change of who you were.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what I was thinking, since, like, I'm so proud that you made it to church. So, to take these smaller steps, I would like to see you potentially go to church again between now and the next time I see you. Just taking those smaller steps to become more social.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure how comfortable you'd be with me pushing you a little bit further than that. But I was wondering if you'd be interested in maybe starting up exercising again, getting that blood flow to the brain, releasing endorphins, that type of thing.
I think I can.
Okay.
I think I can do that.
What type of exercise did you used to do?
I run.
Okay. Are you still interested in running? Are you a walker now? Do you do other things?
I'd probably start walking.
Okay.
But just because I'm not sure I'm in shape enough to like really go on runs like I used to right now.
Okay. So just building back
Start
up to that.
walking, yeah.
Okay. So that's what I'm gonna challenge you to do. Just for between now and the next time I see you, go on one like head clearing walk and attend one church service. You could go by yourself, with family, just as long as you're getting out and about.
Okay.
Does that sound manageable?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel about being challenged?
I feel like good. I feel like I need to be.
Okay.
So I feel like I can do it.
Because I definitely see you taking those big steps.
Yeah, I think I can do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
Well, I'm going to leave you to conquer these challenges, and then we come back next week, we'll talk about them and how they worked out for you, if you felt like they were manageable enough, and we'll keep taking more steps forward as we move on, okay?
Okay.
Alright. I'll see you next week.
Alright. Bye.
Goodbye.